Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast, a 30-minute mini version of the In Wheel Time car show that airs live every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central. From Studio A in Texas, USA, it's the award-winning all things automotive car talk show, In Wheel Time. Just ahead, Jeff takes us on a journey of snowplows. We kind of thought that was an appropriate thing for this Saturday. A look at some upcoming racing events you might be interested in, plus Conrad's Car Clinic and the stories making auto news headlines, along with the guests that we've got lined up this hour. That and more just ahead on today's In Wheel Time car show for Saturday, February 20th, 2021. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars, King Conrad DeLong, Jeff Dziekan over there, Don Armstrong here with you. So glad that you could join us. We are live from Studio A out here, and it actually has not been too chilly. It's just kind of right.
Oh, it's nice. I think it's pretty comfortable. It's a little cool outside, but, you know, you got that open flame heater going on.
Open flame. Let's hope not.
Let's hope not. I'm chilly.
You know, I'll tell you what, this has been just an awful week. If you haven't heard, for those of us here in the Houston, well, all of Texas pretty much for that matter, but especially here in the Houston area, because now we've got boil water notice for 7 million people or something.
Because
it's
everybody,
ridiculous.
you know, so many people's pipes burst. They lost all the water pressure, and then the water treatment plants all froze up. We're not used to 7 degrees for 24 hours.
You know, there could be a little bit better planning, however.
No, they only knew about this 2 weeks ahead of time and completely failed.
That's you can't. Don't get too far in advance.
This whole electric thing.
And would you say the guy from ERCOT, the board of directors at ERCOT,
he makes $889 million a year.
$889,000.
Sorry.
Yeah, where do I apply?
Yeah.
I can do that.
Sign
for that
me
kind
up.
Of money. Yeah.
I volunteer. Well, no, I don't volunteer, but you can give me the job.
Exactly.
I hope that somebody says we're going to fix this before we all forget that that's happened, which they did 10 years ago.
I was going to say, they've been doing it for 10 years.
Yeah. All right. We are going to go over to Gulf Coast Auto Shield and talk to our good friend, Mr. John Gray, who I was supposed to see this week. Bring the Corvette in for him to fix the bird poop stains all over my Corvette.
Now he can fix all the ice scratches on it.
Ice scratches. That's exactly right. So, John, I didn't call you on purpose. I had a note to myself to do that. I thought, this guy's snowed under. No electricity, the whole 9 yards. But, you know, I was just trying to be a good guy and not bug you to get the Corvette in because there's no rush on it. But I do need to get the bird poop stains off of it.
We'll get you in this week, I promise.
Okay. Well, there's no rush, and I don't want to. I don't want to take away your business for my bird poop stains.
So you want John to be your pooper scooper,
so to speak. Yes, because you know one of the first things I ever learned when I met this guy many years ago, it was he talked about bird poop and paint. And I've been so careful with, especially after the treatment that he did, the paint correction, everything on the Corvette. It looked beautiful. Well, moron Don. You can quote me on that.
We will.
Moron Don
Is
has
it with
got
2 R's? I'm ready to
got the Corvette out in the driveway. I had driven it and opened the hood to do the things under the hood that I normally do. To kind of decommission it off of the drive to put it back in storage. I left the hood open to cool the engine compartment, and the sun went down. Okay? No big deal. It's going to be out there overnight, the hood up, behind the gate, everything is all good. Well, guess what? A flock of birds decided to roost in the 2 trees that are out there over the driveway. I got up the next morning, and it was covered in bird poop. So, being the good guy that I am, I got out there and washed the car. No place to go, but I washed the car to get the bird poop off of there, and I looked, and I thought, it's not coming off. The stains are on there. So I called John, and he says, Don, don't worry about it. We got that coating on there. We can fix it. It's all right. Okay. Whew. I hope so. So I guess we'll see, huh, Johnny?
Yeah, we're going to see. I'm not very worried about it, Don, to be honest with you. You know, sometimes the enzymes in that bird poop is very high pH. And if you don't have a coating on it, it can get in there. It can feather up that clear coat. With what we got on your car, we may actually be able to heal. We actually may be able to fix that with a heat gun, get that coating hot, and a lot of those stains will go away. but I can assure you that it didn't eat into that coating that we put on the car.
Does bird poop stink when you heat it up?
I would guess that it doesn't taste as good. I can tell you that.
At $3.50 for an hour.
Yes.
You know, I'm glad you didn't bring it in this week. We didn't even open the doors really until yesterday. I wanted to make sure my guys, were good, and some of them didn't have power even for 4 days. So I wasn't going to ask these guys to come in here and work.
No. You did want to ask them to come into a nice warm building and get out of their freezing house.
We never lost power here.
Did you really?
That's what it looks like.
You're lucky.
Yeah, we were very lucky.
And how'd you do with the house?
Really lucky. We were really fortunate there. I did take a lot of precautions and made sure everything was wrapped up, and we didn't have any breaks or anything. So, I knew this was coming a while back.
Doesn't look like Doesn't look like you drank much of that whiskey.
I'm thinking a couple of them bottles are about half gone.
No. There might be some sipping going on Friday night.
That's how you staying warm.
Most of the time it's customers, though. They see stuff they've never tasted before, and man, I'm more than happy to share.
Kind of like that bird poop that you're going to get off those cars. Yeah.
Hey, it's good with a cracker.
So with everybody now driving their cars because nobody's really had a chance to wash them because it's still been too cold outside. You've had all this dirt and slush and everything all over their cars. What's the next step?
Well, they sprayed a lot of magnesium chloride on the ground. They actually they put some crushed rock, sand, and whatnot.
Windshield breakers.
And that's true. But what happens is you get this mix between the magnesium chloride, the sleet, the snow, and whatever dirt they've mixed in on the ground. And some of your cars, this is about the dirtiest you're ever going to see your car. And with a combination of that, that's kind of a slurry that mixes together. It almost makes these things stick. The crushed rock and dirt stick to the side of your car. So you're really going to need to be careful. Also, magnesium chloride does have some corrosive properties to it. So you want to make sure that you get that stuff off your car as soon as possible. As a matter of fact, there's been some legislation in some states that demand that when they spray this magnesium chloride, they put a coloring in it as well so that you can see where it is on your car so that you can get it off, because it does have corrosive properties to it. So my truck specifically, I didn't take my car out in it this weekend. I am going to, number one, I'm going to make sure that I clean up the underbody of it. So if you don't have a pressure washer, go to like a coin operated car wash. Do not use the brush at all. But get some degreaser. Like if you go to Walmart, there's this Purple Power, I think is what it is. If you don't have access to any of the professional stuff, make sure you dilute it for what they say on there is okay for like automotive use and paint. You're going to want to get something to get that off your paint and off the underbody, your suspension parts and whatnot on your car before you start to apply any pressure or rub on there. So you're going to spray that on there, let it sit, and then power wash the underside, power wash the paint on the car. Get as much of that stuff as you can get off without touching it, because all of that dirt and whatnot is, you have the potential to scratch the finish on your car. If you go to just using a mitt and soap to wipe it off. Some of your better car wash products have some really, really good surfactants in it. I would, if you have a pressure washer at home, if you use a foam cannon, this is a perfect example of why a foam cannon is very helpful. You're going to spray your car after you've sprayed it off using the pressure washer. You're going to use a foam cannon. You're going to spray that car down. And it's going to do two things. Number one, it's going to add a lot of lubrication to the surface of the paint when you go to use your mitt on it. As Don knows, lubrication is the key to everything.
Yes, he does.
Yes. But the surfactant in those soaps is going to help break down some of the dirt and the slurry, the magnesium chloride that's on the paint. It's going to make it come off easier. All right. So the lubrication and the surfactants in the soap are critical in this case for you to be able to get the product or get the dirt and the magnesium chloride off the side
I
of your
know
car.
all so much about
Easier.
that.
Well, the magnesium chloride, the stuff that Texas is putting down versus the salt that they use in other parts of the country. I mean, you got from one extreme to the other. Which one is better for the roads? Obviously, none of them are good for the car, but they're doing this so they don't put salt down. You tell me.
That's right. They're using the dirt in lieu of the salt. Now the salt is even more corrosive.
Oh yeah.
So we're getting the best of of the two. I'm going to take the dirt rather than the salt, especially down here.
But the reason they put it down is to try and lay an abrasive on top of the ice for traction.
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
that same abrasive you're putting on the road is now sticking to the paint of your car. So that's what John's talking about, is you want to do a real good job before you touch it,
right,
is to try and remove as much as you can.
Versus the salt is caking on and being a corrosive cancer on it.
Yeah. Yep. So the keys here are use an automotive degreaser. Use it properly. Don't make sure you dilute it properly to what the manufacturer states is okay for automotive paint use. Get as much of it off your car as you can without touching it. And then as you wash your car, you're going to want to obviously use good methods with your 2 buckets for your paint. Use your grit guards. I would wash out, if you don't have grit guards, I would wash out my mitt after every pass on the car. So I might wash my door, clean out that mitt, use the hose to wash out that mitt, and then go back into the bucket. Try to keep as much of the dirt and the contamination that's on the car out of the bucket so it doesn't get reintroduced onto the paint itself.
Yeah, I got 2 teenage grandsons that are starting to drive, and they've got their first vehicles. And for Christmas,
Is their last name Mars?
No. No, there's just only one other. There's only one other Mars, and anyway, I bought it, but I was going to say some of that stuff, like the grill guard, the grit guards. Those things are hard to find, and sometimes, I mean, I had to go several different places to find them.
I've never really seen them in the wild. I always get them off of Amazon, and I tell you what, there's a new one out there. Called a dirt lock, and it's a type of grit guard, but you can blow into the top of it and hold your hand, and you can feel it on your hand. If you turn it upside down from the side where the dirt is going to sit at the bottom of the bucket and blow into it, and then hold your hand on that side, you can't feel it because of the way that this thing is designed.
Oh wow!
Once things pass through that dirt lock,
doesn't come back up.
It's not coming back. It's not coming back up.
Yeah.
So they're a little bit more expensive, but yeah, Amazon, get them off of Amazon. They're called Dirt Lock.
Well, Amazon's great if you think that far ahead of time, but particularly around Christmas.
Get on Prime, Mars. Get the dollar out of your pocket.
Again, if you think that far ahead. Anyway, so
remember, these are things you ought to have, and you ought to use all the time if you are hand washing your car.
Yeah, well, I bought them a bunch of stuff, the mitts and all that stuff, the buckets and things like that. But I finally found one, but I was surprised at how hard it was to find one.
Yeah, well, Mars, stop by here, and I'll give you a couple of these dirt locks.
What kind of suds do you use?
I use a product from Fine Lab, FEYNLAB. It's called Pure Wash. And man, it's got a fantastic surfactant in it, it's the best car wash I've ever used. And it's so concentrated that, in a bucket with 4 gallons of water, I'm using 1 ounce.
Oh wow!
And with with some of the stuff that you buy in some of the stores, I always tend to use more than what they want you to use because it just doesn't feel like.
There's enough in there.
It's giving you much lubrication or whatnot. But the reason why I use that Fine Lab soap is because of the surfactant. When I use a foam cannon on a car and spray it on there, you can see that it's eating into that dirt, and it makes a huge difference
Lifting it up
when it comes to lifting it off the car.
Mike, I got a question. It's going to be a nice day tomorrow, and the car needs a wash. Do I wash it in the morning in the sun? Do I wash it in the shade? What's an optimum time of day, heat or less heat, to wash a car outside?
Well, the best time to do it, if you can be in the shade, that's always the time to do it. And it's not going to matter much if you are in the shade or out of the shade. Hang on, I just have some of my guys coming in. I'm sorry. So the best time to do it is going to be in the shade. Doesn't matter if it's daytime, afternoon, or whatnot. But the thing is you never want to do it in the direct sunlight, especially when it gets up to after 10:30 when the sun is directly above you. Houston has such hard water, and there's no telling what's in that water right now.
You have water?
So you want to make sure that water is not drying on your car, because it will cause mineral spotting.
Right.
And so make sure that you're always doing it in the shade. If you're going to do it, you don't have a shady place to do it, which at my house I really don't. I either wash in the morning or I wash late afternoon when things are not when it's not as hot, not as warm, and I'm not in the direct sunlight.
Gotcha.
Yeah, where it dries too fast.
And one of the other things is never wash your car with all that stuff that's underneath your kitchen sink.
No. The first thing that I hear about people using Dawn and whatnot. Well, Dawn is if you got wax on your car, Dawn is going to strip it off.
A good wax stripper.
That's exactly what it is. And a lot of shops will use that as a wax stripper. But also, if you continue to use it, it's going to cause your black trim to fade out because it will cause
pull the oils out.
You heard that dish pan hands.
Right.
Same thing. It's going to pulls the oils out of all the plastics, the tires. So you don't. I would not recommend using that.
What do you use on wheels and tires to wash?
On wheels, I use Sonex Full Effect or Wheel Cleaner Plus, and the reason why is because, and I always wash wheels first. You spray this stuff on the wheels. I usually do one wheel at a time. It's going to start to eat into the ferrous oxides that came off your brake pads. You're going to leave that on there for 4 to 5 minutes. Do it out of the sun and do it while you have a cool wheel. But you'll see that start to turn purple, that Sonex. And what that's doing is eating into the ferrous oxides on the car. Now, ferrous oxides are some of the worst things this is why you don't ever want to cross-contaminate your wheel stuff to your paint stuff. It'll scratch your car really, really bad because it's metal particles.
Metal shavings,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, it's metal shavings off your brake pads. That's exactly what it is. So this stuff will eat that, in 4 to 5 minutes, especially if you do it on a regular basis. It's going to make number one, you're going to be able to maintain your wheel. Sometimes you can get wheels that are so far gone you can't clean them up. I mean that's the heat and the metal shavings and whatnot will adhere to those wheels. But the way to keep them looking like they're day one is to always use the Sonex Full Effect or the Sonex Wheel Cleaner Plus to keep that stuff off of there. And just as long as you maintain it, you're going to have some really, really nice looking wheels.
Yeah, because most wheels have a layer of clear coat over them anymore, just like a paint surface.
Yeah.
So that
most do.
The ferrous oxides you're talking about is the brake dust is where it is. It's always been one of the big problems with vehicle transport coming into the dealerships. Cars that are parked on the transport train that are parked close to the wheels, all of that train rail dust has damaged millions of cars through the years.
Man, that is job number one here. When we get a car in for coating, we're taking the ferrous. We're going to shoot it with a ferrous oxide remover that is more applicable to paint and not wheels. So it's a little less aggressive. But you would be shocked. I mean, my last GT350 I got in, it was amazing how covered. I don't know where it rode on the train car, but it was absolutely covered in ferrous oxides. You don't get that off in Toyotas and some of the Chevys with the regular white paint. You'll start to see orange spots on your paint, and that's actually rust. I mean, that's actually those ferrous oxide particles starting to get in and rust the paint on your car.
And that's why you see a lot of the high-end cars now that are railed, they've got, these plastic sheets that are, applied to them, this plastic coating, or they've done spray-on plastic coating as well, all trying to deal with this damage caused by the rail dust. And,
Yep.
So
that is correct.
The cleaner you're using that you're talking about, actually, when it engages the ferrous oxides, it'll change color to show you that's where it is.
Yep, it'll turn purple, and you'll continue to see it. Like the purple spots will grow. It'll start to drip, almost like it's bleeding, and it's quite amazing to watch it. To be honest with you, especially on white paint. And by the way, you mentioned spray on, something we'll talk about next time. We are about to start testing a spray on paint protection film that is going to be a 2-part product. So you'll never have lines, you'll never have creases, seams, anything, and we will be able to make it as thick as we want it. It's going to be amazing.
John, it's always great to talk to you. Thanks so much for joining us today. And you want me to give you a call next week?
Yeah, give me a call. Give me a call on Monday, Don. I got a couple cars that are going to be leaving here in the next day or so.
All right, brother.
But we'll get that thing taken care of.
Gulf
you guys
Coast,
be safe.
Yeah, you do the same. Gulf Coast Auto Shield, John Gray. We appreciate you, and we will talk at you again very soon.
Yeah,
we have a very special segment that Jeff has prepared for us. And it is a special segment. Normally, he does the pre-owned car of the week. And in light of what's happened this week with our weather and the snow that we've had, the ice that we have had, we thought that we would kind of do a tribute to the past when it comes to snowplows.
Tributes.
And we don't really know anything about snowplows in this area.
Neither do I.
But we have learned, and I know that Jeff is going to share that with us now.
Okay. Well, like Don said, it's a snowplow, the history of, so we're going to get right to it. We have our first video, and I'm just going to do this here. This is for everyone out there. This is actually a crew that was maintaining the snow.
Is that over in the right hand
Oh, look,
side?
that guy's got mittens on.
Oh, my. Who is that?
Is that Bernie?
Bernie was in charge of this crew.
Oh, wait a minute.
He's sitting down doing
Maybe
nothing.
that's Don Armstrong. Who knows? We kind of look the same,
Notice
don't we?
that everyone
with
is
the mask, it's hard to tell.
They're all leaning on a shovel.
They are.
So they're government employees.
There you go. So I'm going to just do my verbiage, and then we'll get into it.
Please.
It's all right. The snowplow, there's different versions on how to spell it and so on and where it came from, but is used for removing snow and ice from outdoor services, typically those serving transportation purposes. It is for winter service vehicles, especially in areas that regularly receive large amounts of snow every year. Specifically airfields and such that are government-owned. It can be done by a pickup truck or front-end loaders. Now, snowplow works by using a blade to push the snow from the side to clear it off the surface. Modern plows may include technology to make it easier, such as global positioning systems, heads-up displays, and infrared cameras to actually plow areas with snow, mainly in the airports and the larger areas. So the first snow plows were horse-drawn, and I'm going to get to the video. I'm going to try to do two things at one time here. How's that?
So you're going to spit the gum out?
So, yeah.
Great snow plows. Oh, look,
And
Bernie
again,
disappeared.
Bernie disappeared, but there you go. But this is also a...
What are they?
Are they digging out a train?
They're
that got
removing
ran
snow
into?
from tracks from the train. Oh,
Is that on automatic advance or what?
Oh, there you go. It was.
The fat fingers again.
The first snowplows were horse-drawn wedges made of wood. In the advent of the automobile, number of different inventors set out to improve existing plows. In the U.S., the snow cleared is having to be patented in 1840 for the railways. So that was where it first came in, and that's where the shot's from. However, they did it in for motor vehicles in parking lots and airports and things back in the 1913. Manufactured by Good Roads Engineering. Moving on, in 1923, the brothers Hans and Evan Oversen.
Hans
and
Evan
Franz.
Oversen of Norway.
They're here to pump you up.
No, they plow you up. Plow you up.
That's even worse.
Exactly. Well, their fingers are cold. Constructed an early snowplow for the use on cars. This proved to be in tradition, moving on to snow clearing equipment for the roads. Today, snowplow is produced by numerous companies throughout the world, various kinds of vehicles such as trucks, pickups, SUVs, and ATVs. So that's the history of that. The photos are just extraordinary. They're just great stuff. Here we have, this is just outside my house.
That was right outside your house
This is
last week,
outside
wasn't
my
it?
house last week, and you can see everybody. There's Bernie's crew out there with their
Socially
shovels.
distancing.
They're all leaning on the shovels.
Again.
That's again. Here we have the next shot moving on. This is out in front of my house.
You know, we are very lucky that we didn't get that here.
That
know.
is devastating.
Yeah, that's
And not uncommon to happen every now and then.
Exactly.
Here.
Ice on the trees brings them straight down to the ground.
Yep.
And everything in the way.
You bet. Now, here's the first one that we talked about earlier. This is a horse-drawn wooden plow through the streets. And this is more on the East Coast. I think this was actually captured in New York, but we're moving on to other places of the world.
So there we go.
There we go. This one is, this is actually these next.
Wasn't that thing in the movie Cars?
It could have been. I think that was one of the tire changes.
Giuseppe?
There you go. These are all from European cities, Austria, and Sweden, and so
the
on.
smaller streets.
Exactly. Okay, we've got
Teeny
the next
tiny.
shot coming up. This is out of Kansas, actually.
The conga line.
The conga line, and that is a massive plow. Actually, they have it on the actual vehicle, and then, of course, to the right of the vehicle, and there's one behind it cleaning up, and then, of course, the chase vehicles behind it.
Keeping people from running into the back of the snowplows.
Exactly.
I love
And then
this one.
This is a train. This is actually in a museum. The large push with the wedge on the front of the train. That's how they used to do that in the mountain areas of Austria.
I have a picture. I think that I was explaining it to you last night. Somewhere in my collection of grandfather's stuff that shows a wide shot of a train. Wasn't that large, but it was a steam-driven plane up on the plains of Wisconsin in the middle of nowhere, and they were actually plowing the track with snow.
I bet that's a cool picture.
It is an absolutely stunning picture. Yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, not a problem. But this is in a museum, and then of course
The End Wheel Time Show.
the end.
Which is all snowed under.
Yeah.
Yeah, George is saying that one of the largest snowplow companies in the world is an Alamo Group.
Yep.
In Seguin, Texas, of all places.
Well, they're made all over the world now, and we could have drilled down to the minutia of ATVs having them.
Can you spell that?
Ford versus Chevy versus Dodge. They make certain ones for those vehicles
Yeah,
as well.
yeah, they all offer a snowplow
Right,
option.
exactly.
You know, you showed that stopped train. That you know, there was a train that crossed the Donner Pass in 1952 that was stopped for 3 days up in the mountains above San Francisco. And the only reason I know about it is Donner Pass and all
It's
the
good
history
eating.
of that.
Yeah, good eating.
That was, you know, it came back and bit him again.
There's racing. Believe it or not, in this ugly weather that we're having or have had here in the Houston area, there is racing, and I think Daytona has got another event.
Well,
this
Daytona, they
weekend.
ran the Daytona 500 last
No,
weekend.
there's an event this.
Yep. And last weekend they ran the 500
Yeah?
and had like a 9-hour rain delay. This weekend they're doing the Daytona Road Course. So this is the first time the NASCAR Cup guys have raced on the road course in Daytona. Should be pretty interesting.
Is it tomorrow?
It's tomorrow. The Xfinity guys are running on it today, but the NASCAR guys, Xfinity or the Cup guys, have never run the Daytona road course again. So should be a lot of fun, and let's see who's good enough on it. And then they're going to stay in Florida, and on the 28th of
Sebring.
February, they're going to be in Homestead, Florida. with NASCAR. The Gator Nationals is still the weekend of the 11th through the 14th for NHRA. Sebring is March 20th, the 12 hours of Sebring, and I think Alex Udell may or may not have an opportunity to drive something there, so we'll check in with him on that.
All right, very good. Thank you, sir. By the way, the In Wheel Time Car Show streams on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. Podcasts available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, iHeart Podcasts. Do you ever listen to a podcast?
Oh,
Pretty
yeah.
good, actually. Tune in, Google Podcasts, Pandora, Amazon, and Podcast Addict, to name a few. In Wheel Time Car Show will continue after these brief messages.
If you're in charge of your company's small, medium, or large business anywhere in the U.S., let the On Hold Company help you retain customers and promote your business on your telephone system. Promote special sales or company info when placed on hold. The On Hold Company provides custom on-hold messages with professional male or female voices, licensed background music with no long-term contract, no monthly recurring bill, and updates your messages as needed. Call the On Hold Company at 713-223-HOLD or go to onhold.net. Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's premier cruise-in, and you're invited to join in. Whether you're a cruiser or spectator, Tailpipes and Tacos is the place to enjoy made-to-order breakfast tacos, fresh coffee, and mingle with Houston's fun car people. Mark your calendar for Saturday, March 20th for Tailpipes and Tacos at the Lupe Tortilla Mexican Restaurant in Katy, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Tailpipes and Tacos is free, and everyone is invited. You'll see collector cars, hot rods, customs, magnificent originals, and resto-mods, all at one location. Cars from all over Southeast Texas cruise in and show off in a friends and family event at the Lupe Tortilla Mexican Restaurant on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10 in Katy. Drag racer, car enthusiast, and Lupe founder Stan Holt brings you Houston's hottest cruise-in, Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday, March 20th, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. at Lupe's in Katy. The In Wheel Time Car Show will be there too. Get your ride ready and we'll see you at the Tailpipes and Tacos Saturday morning cruise-in, March 20th, 8 to 11 a.m. at Lupe's in Katy, weather permitting. That's it for this podcast episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.